All right, welcome everybody. Today we are doing a live hangout for Bayern Munich versus Salzburg, FC Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg, pardon me, in the Austrian Bundesliga Champions League second round game. First fixture is tied aggregate at 1-1. And obviously the main focus of this channel will be Brendan Aaronson, the American midfielder currently playing as a sort of hybrid 10 pressing 10 / false 9. Walter, how you doing? Ken the King wishes that Chris Richards was here on Bayern. Kevin Polite with some great advice there. All right, how's everybody feeling today? How you feeling about this game? It's nice to watch a game where there's not really any pressure, right? It's just kind of watch it and enjoy it. It would be amazing if Red Bull Salzburg can pull off a miracle and get a win here. Butters. I love Butters. How's it going? I'm doing well. How are you guys? Are you guys watching? Hey, Josue, are you guys watching from school or from work or from home? Is anybody sneak watching? Daniel, how are you? Jason, my man. Are you at school today, Jason? Aaronson hat trick incoming. I love the optimism, Ray Puma. Absolutely love it. Josue is watching from home. That's dope. That's dope. Am I the only person who wouldn't hate Aaronson to Leeds if they stay up? He'd start every game in the best league in the world, plus they have money to bring in other reinforcements. Yeah, and if Jesse Marsch stays there, it could be very interesting. I don't hate it either, Tobes. I really don't. John Rodriguez. What's up, Pete? What do you think the end score will be? I'm going to go 3-1 Bayern. I think ultimately Bayern wins this 3-1. Daniel Bernal's working from home. Jason's going to an Ontario Fury game. Dope. Alex says, my school quarantined me because I have stomach problems. They swear like everything is COVID. All right, let's have a quick look at the starting lineup, guys. So as you can see here on the left, you have Bayern in their 3-4-2-1, right? Very strong lineup. Salzburg playing in their 4-3-1-2. It's sort of a hybrid 4-3-3 because those wingers / forwards play very narrow. Neil Brown is working at home. This is going to be an interesting, this is how Salzburg plays, and it's sort of the job of Aaronson to be a pressing 10. He's not a very strong creative 10 in that he's going to create out of nothing, although he did have a very strong performance against Bayern in that last fixture. So that was at home. This is away. It'll be very interesting to see how long Salzburg can hold on because it is 1-1. Every game, this is what I used to tell players, every game starts at 0-0. Don't lose that game before you walk out onto the field. Sometimes you think a bigger team, better players. You go in there thinking, we've already lost this game. But I don't think Salzburg will be thinking that way. And it'll be interesting to see how Bayern handles their intensity and the high press. Jojo, hey, Pete. I went to Charlotte FC match Saturday. Very exciting. I actually played several soccer tournaments in and near the Charlotte area. That's awesome, Jojo. I really wish I could have been there. It seemed like an exciting atmosphere, and Filippo told me all about it. I'm kind of bummed I couldn't go, but guys, work must be done sometimes and bills must be paid. So unfortunately, I couldn't make it this time, but I hope next time I'll be able to come. All right, so game is going to start in about 5 minutes. What's everybody been up to this week? What's been on your mind? Yeah, this is a good point by Tobes Laroni, which is a great screen name, by the way. If Salzburg can avoid conceding early, this could get very tense very fast. Yeah, I agree. It's going to get nerve-wracking, and especially at home, the pressure is going to be on them, right? So it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. But yeah, I think the key is to not let Bayern score early for Salzburg. Try to make them, as Jurgen Klinsmann used to say, uncomfortable. They have to be uncomfortable, That's huge. When you can make the other team uncomfortable, that's when you have a real chance, That's a Jurgen Klinsmann euphemism. Will Greg ever not play a 4-3-3? I can't say. Actually, he has a couple of times gone with that weird 3-4-2-1, but it hasn't really worked. And he hasn't used it since Honduras away, way back in September. So I doubt we're going to see that. Walter de Epic is very worried about the goalkeeping situation for upcoming World Cup qualifiers. I'm not as worried about that, to be honest. I'm confident that Ethan Horvath can do a good job there, you know. I think that if Turner is out and Steffen is out and Horvath playing well for Nottingham Forest, it would be a no-brainer to start him. But it could also be that Greg Berhalter goes with Sean Johnson. So it would be interesting to see who he goes with. But Horvath's record against Mexico is good. I wouldn't hate having Horvath there. That's my honest opinion. I think his confidence is growing. All right, so the teams are in the tunnel. Let's see. Neil Brown, I am hoping Paxton plays Saturday. Are you talking about Paxton Aaronson or Paxton Pomykal? I'm guessing you're talking about Paxton Pomykal because Paxton Aaronson is with an E, I believe. Constantine, we're not going to start Slonina. Not going to start Slonina. All right, teams are coming out. Be interesting to see how this goes. I mean, I'd be very surprised if Salzburg pull off an upset here, but you just never know, right? This is a funny old game, as the English like to say. It's a funny old game sometimes, and, you know, anybody can win on the day with a little bit of luck, enough quality, right mentality, a lot of desire. Anybody can win. So, you know, they'll be going out there, out of the tunnel, thinking that. The thing is, for Salzburg, right, Georgie, is that there's no pressure on them, right? They lose to Bayern, no worries, go home. We figure it out what's going on in the league at home, but right now they're not under pressure. Whereas Bayern, they're going to be feeling that pressure, aren't they? They're really going to have, we got to go out there and win it, because if not, there could be a lot of pressure on the coach, on the manager, and on the players themselves. So it's going to be a right cracking game, I think, and I'm looking forward to it. Cut to the middle ground person who's like, right, so he really is looking forward to it. I should just play like two characters, two broadcasters, and just go back and forth for you guys. Let's see. Pete, you reckon Aaronson goes to full 90? Maddox, yes. If he's playing well, then yes. All right. Teams walking out onto the pitch. The champions. Let's see if the champions music is playing. Does not appear to be playing yet. So I'm watching this on Fubo TV. I'm not watching it on Paramount Plus, American Soccer United. Douglas Harley says, LOL, that's a dope Geordie accent. Thank you. Turner News, Pete. Oh, Turner News? What kind of news you talking about? Oh, Joe, damn, I can't do Scouse. I can't do Scouse. Scouse is very hard to do. Probably if I listen to it a lot, I can do it, but just off the top of my head, no. Maddox Bray. Pete, when is Imago out? Oh, guys, I don't want to talk about my acting career when I do soccer stuff. Converted my diehard L Tree fan homegirl to the USMNT. Welcome to the light side. Well done, Jason, and just in time for the showdown at the Azteca. Good for you, man. For anyone who wishes to watch live in Spanish, the game is on Galavision. Yeah, that's what I'm watching on Fubo TV, actually. It's Galavision/TUDN in vivo. Wow, Robert Lewandowski is not aging well, huh? Fight and win. Oh, my God. When Jesse Marsh was doing the press conference, the great thing about it was that a lot of the people in the YouTube chat, it was a live streamed on YouTube from the Leeds United channel. A lot of people in the chat were making fun of Americans. Fight and win. They call it soccer. Ted Lasso, innit? Pete, would you call up Fullerin Balogun for these World Cup qualifiers? No. No, I would not. He's not ready, I don't think, just yet. Okay, just started playing in the championship. Hasn't scored a goal yet, right? Did you see what happened with Pepe? Not sure what you're talking about, but I know he hasn't scored any goals yet. Filippo Silva, who's that guy? I am afraid Bayern is a finished club and Aaronson owns them. We'll see. He definitely got an assist and had a good performance in the first game. Let's see what happens today. Is Yedlin's new club confirmed? Rogelio, Yedlin is at Inter Miami. Has been for a while now. Thoughts on Russell Wilson move? Maddox, I have no idea who that is. If that's a football thing, I don't really watch football. I hate to disappoint you. I don't really follow football. Game's about to kick off. Brendan Aaronson with the ball at his feet. All right, guys. This is exciting. All right, come on. Come on now. It's probably already kicked off for some of you because I'm probably behind because I'm watching on Fubo TV. So I'll tell you if you want to sync your TVs up, I'll put my hand down when the kickoff starts. So if you want to just pause your TV and then here we go. Still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. Some TV timing, I'm guessing. I don't know why they're still waiting. Oh, come on. There we go. And we're off. All right. All right. And Salzburg has the ball. Bayern has not scored yet, and we are already 7 seconds in. Oh, but they're on attack. Ooh, Brendan Aaronson dropping deep already. Oh, come on. Hey, that's a foul. Ooh, they're really starting brightly here with their pressing schemes. This is going to be a long game for Salzburg if Bayern score early. So it's about making their lives really uncomfortable from the beginning. Really making it hard for them and trying to keep that score at 0-0 for as long as possible. Maybe nicking an early goal, right? As the Brits love to say. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, what a save. What a save. Oh, poof. Lewandowski forces a great save. Jason, thank you, sir. Quickly here. Oh, good shot, good save. But not a good sign if they're already penetrating that back line. Lewandowski. Guy is so lethal. Oh, and they're back again for more? Come on. Come on. This is going to be a tough night. It's going to be a tough night for Salzburg. Oh, but they're through. They're through. Oh, my God. Finish it. Finish it. Oh, wow. That should have been a goal, or at least put that on target. But it was a good block. It was a good block. Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? They get in behind. Was that Brendan? It was Brendan, wasn't it? No, it wasn't Brendan. Oh, is that not even a corner? No, that's a corner. That's a corner. That was a good block. That could have been it. So based on Marsh's first game, Leeds to stay up. I would say yes. Not only based on his first game, but also based on some other factors like the other teams that are fighting relegation. Let's see this corner here. Oh, dang. Salzburg with two good chances there. Look, there's always a new manager bounce. When a new manager comes in and the team is struggling, usually it sort of gives everybody a little bit of a lift. It's a fresh start. Now, the question is, can he change them enough long-term to be effective and, finish out the season well? I think he can rescue them. I think he can, but, time will tell, right? Kevin Polite says, penetrating the back line, something the USMNT can barely do under Berhalter. I love that we always keep bringing it back to our situation here in the US. Pete, what did you think of Young Boys firing their US manager? Well, they want to be in first place in the league, and they're not. So that's, again, it's like he hadn't met targets. He hadn't met expectations for that club. So they fired him. This is what it looks like in most of the world. Now, you could say second place in the Swiss league, a little harsh, right? Maybe you have a point, but I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of young boys, so I don't know how they were playing. I don't know if they were playing well. I don't know if maybe there was discontent in the locker room, if there was a feeling that maybe David Wagner could not take them any further than he already had, and if maybe they had a better option out there, you know? All right. Salzburg trying to get quickly on the counterattack, but Bayern not having it. It's very hard for them to build through the midfield. Aaronson, through ball. Oh, Salzburg. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, he got the ball. Come on. Is Reyna back in training yet? Yes. As far as I understand, he is, Jaybird. Salzburg do not look outmatched. The tension is building. Tobes-Lerone with an apropos comment. Should Scally be called up ahead of Yedlin? I would not say so, but I would say ahead of Reggie Cannon or Shaquille Moore or Brooks Lennon, right? Just my thoughts, Isaiah. Bayern corner. This is going to be, it seems very open right now, right? Very back and forth. You know, I'm going to talk about this on Thursday. I have a video coming out of how I would approach each game, Kevin, from a tactical perspective, from a lineup perspective, Mexico, Panama, and Costa Rica. And I'll be able to give a better sort of explanation on why I would do what I do. I give you a tease, though. I don't have Brendan Aaronson in my starting lineup against Mexico. And the primary reason for that is I don't think we should go to the Azteca and go for the all-out press. I'm not sure that's going to work for a variety of reasons. But he's definitely, obviously, in the roster. Jaybird, I would say yes. Jaybird, there is a chance that Reyna will be in this camp. If he's getting any minutes at all for Dortmund, I think they will call him in. I doubt he's going to play very much. Long shot from Sane, and it's wide. Well, Salzburg have hung on so far. How is that a foul from Adeyemi? Nagelsmann does not look happy. Oh, thank you, Mike. Eric Buchholz. I feel like they will rest Reyna against Mexico and play him against Panama. I don't even know if he'll start against Panama. He may just be a bench option for most of these games because he's still very fragile right now. This is something we have to remember. He's coming off of not only a really long, oh my God, how offside are you? Not only is he coming off a very long injury, but he re-injured of himself already, right? So you want to be really careful with Gio Reyna and not push him too far. Kevin Polite, Pete, are you celebrating International Women's Day? Is that today? I didn't even know that. My girl's going to kill me. No, I did not know that was today. If that is indeed today, let me look that up. International Women's Day. Oh, it's today. Look at that. I did not even know that was a thing. I mean, I knew it was a thing. I just didn't know it was today. But I guess I should be celebrating it, shouldn't I? To all the women in our lives, the mothers, the sisters, the friends, the wives, the girlfriends, the loved ones, the friends with benefits, the flings, and all the past exes, happy International Women's Day. Luca says, Pete, you play FM. I do not. I would if I had more time, but right now, my life is a lot of different things going on, and I don't have time for like extra hobbies right now. Right now, it's work, so acting, the YouTube channel, right? Some part-time Uber driving when there's not much going on in the acting world. And then also, I mean, having a relationship, right? That takes work. Anybody who's in a relationship knows that you have to have a good relationship. It takes work and it takes time and it takes, effort. So there's a lot going on in my life. I have a big family as well, 12 siblings. So some of them are going through some major drama in their own lives right now. And because my dad passed away, I'm spending a lot of time sort of helping them out. So it's just a lot going on right now. I wish I had more time for hobbies. But when I do, I like to have hobbies that involve traveling, going out, hiking, camping, visiting friends in other parts of the country or in other parts of the state. Oh, my laptop's about to die. So as much, oh, great. That's not what you want. As much as I would like to have more hobbies and time to play something like FM or even FIFA, it's just not a priority for me. 12 siblings. Yes, Tom, I have 12 siblings. No, that's no. Oh, that's a penalty, isn't it? Yeah, that's a penalty. Dang it. Whew. Mitchell Steele, I don't think Reina will be ready to start against Mexico. That would be a huge risk, in my opinion, especially because the key game is Panama, right? Panama is the one. If you're going to start him in any of those games, I would start him against Panama, not against Mexico. Yep, that's a penalty. Clear as day. God dang. It's going to ruin this game, and we're only 11 minutes in. All right, nobody tell me if the penalty gets... It's Lewandowski. He's going to score it, isn't he? Well, 1-0 is nothing, right? 1-0 is nothing. All they need to do is score one goal, okay? Eee. Spittle on your lip, bro. Nobody wants to see that. Whew. Lewandowski lining up. Goalkeeper standing tall. He looks nervous. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, save it or miss it. You can't score them all, Robert. Come on. Ooh, come on. Oh, dang it. 1-0 Bayern. Oh, well. Okay, well, it's only 1-0, guys. 1-0 is not over. Okay, all that Salzburg has to do is equalize. Now, obviously, for Bayern, this takes the pressure off them, and they can probably play a little more smoothly. That was a beautiful turn by Lewandowski. Little back heel. And then he knows the challenge is coming. He doesn't even try to shoot. He just gets his body in the way of the challenge, and there you go. Caden Turner, there is no way in hell, in my opinion, that Acosta is a better option than Tyler Adams. Okay? You say he struggles in big games, Champions League. Acosta has never played in a Champions League game in his life, and to be honest, is probably not good enough. That being said, I would start Acosta against Mexico because of Tyler Adams' yellow card situation. So, yes, I would start Acosta, and I think he can be fine. But let's not pretend that there's a comparable difference between Acosta and Adams. That's some strong recency bias and an inability to judge talent, in my opinion. There's a reason that Adams is playing at the level he's at, and there's a reason that Acosta's only real option was LAFC when he wanted to go to Europe, which is a whole nother thing, guys. You know, they talked about, he had options in Europe. Whether or not those, options in Europe were willing to offer more than the 1.5 million or 2 million, whatever it was that LAFC offered for him, very different story, right? So we just got to have some perspective there. We have a lot of strong recency bias sometimes, where he did good against Honduras, and so now everyone's back on the Acosta train. But let's be honest, Acosta has been very inconsistent and has a certain ceiling. Doesn't mean he can't be useful for us at times. Doesn't mean he can't be a good backup. Oh, come on. Oh, finish that. Please finish that. Oh, come on. Whew. So close. So close. Pete, is Turner injured or is it a rumor? Yeah, he is injured. Like, he's not playing for New England right now. We're just not sure what kind of injury it is. So. Ball coming in. Oh, no. And now on the counter, if Bayern scores off this counter, gets game over. I mean, it's never game over, even at 2-0, even at 3-0. I would be very unhappy if it was frostbite, go UNC. But we haven't heard anything. I've heard rumors about that, but nothing concrete, not enough data to be able to say that is true. If that is true, that's a very serious thing, that one of our players got frostbite from being in Minnesota. But right now, there's no evidence of that. So I don't want to speculate, okay? Guys, it would be madness to start Reyna against Mexico. Madness. Okay. Brendan Aaronson. Give a nice little. Oh, Brendan. But at least he's very quick to press again. Madness to start Reyna in Mexico, guys. Like, he's just coming back from a very long injury that he already re-injured and hasn't played a single minute yet with Dortmund. And we are just 2 weeks out from that game with Mexico. So I think it would be madness to start him in the Azteca in that kind of an environment with that kind of pressure on him. We need to be very careful with Gio Reyna, or we could ruin him for life. Okay, coming off a very serious hamstring injury. I know we all remember the Mexico game, guys, it's only important for bragging rights. In terms of qualifying for the World Cup, it's that Panama game that's the most important one. Yes, we'd all love to win in Azteca or at least get a draw, but it's not the crucial game. For me, I save our best players. If Reyna is healthy and ready to go, I would save him for Panama. Maybe bring him on for the last 20 minutes against Mexico so he has an opportunity to get in some game rhythm before we go to play Panama. But I would not start him in Mexico. Honestly, I just wouldn't. So it's all Bayern in possession right now. 1-0, 18th minute. Salzburg are pressing well. They're doing a good job of that. But when they win it, they look like they don't really have the quality to create. And that's sort of been their problem. Although they have had 3 shots on target, so they actually have created. They're just giving the ball away too easily when they do get it, right? Some of that is transitioning into an attacking position quicker, right? Attacking formation, because they're taking too long to do that. And then what happens is Bayern closes down the passing lanes while they do that, and then it's too late. Like we saw with Brendan Aaronson just now, wins the ball, doesn't have enough support, so holds on to it for a couple more seconds, and by that time, Bayern have closed all the open passing lanes. So it's an ankle. Oh, here we go. Just Alex says confirmed ankle injury for Turner. So let us dispel all rumors of frostbite. It appears to be an ankle injury, and he's out for a couple of weeks, which means no Turner in Mexico or in this window altogether, probably. So no Turner as of right now. There's also no Stefan. So very likely going to be either Horvath or Johnson, right? Ryan and Valerie Green. Pete, are you going to Orlando with Tack and Smith? With Tack and Sam? I am not. No, I'm going to be doing the home duties here. I will be doing the live watch along instead of Tack and the post game. I can actually tell you guys now, for the post game, we're going to have the straight red card guys on. Derek and Brett. Ooh, another foul right on the edge of the box. Lewandowski with these turns, huh? Kevin Polite says, Pete, did you make, lose, break even on money from your sports gambling from the sponsor? I lost money. I lost money, Kevin. You only get the money if you're like in the top 3 or 4. But, I mean, it was a few dollars, so it's okay. Carter Hazlitt. Pete, you a Chicago Fire fan? I wouldn't say I am a Chicago Fire fan. What I'd say is I have a soft spot for the Chicago Fire because I spent 3 years in Chicago, and I would go to Bridgeview to watch those games against this awful, awful team in the cold weather in the spring. It was brutal, absolutely brutal. And they were so bad, but I still went every week to support them because I believe you should try and support local soccer, especially if you want the game to grow in this country. And now I'm gone. Oh, penalty check. Is this going to be a penalty? Oh, it got changed from a free kick to a penalty. Dang, now it's over. Oh, guys. Have you ever lived in a small town? Go UNC. No, I have not. I have lived in Bangkok, New Delhi, London. Well, actually, that's not true. I lived in Cambridge for short periods of time, but not for any long period of time. Chicago and then Los Angeles. So yeah, not really a lot of small towns. 2-0 going to be, looks like, if Lewandowski scores this. Stop fouling Lewandowski in the box, people. Seems to be the moral of this story. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. 2-0. Okay, pipe down, Nagelsmann. It's Salzburg. You have like 8 times their transfer money and salary. So stop acting like you're slaying giants over here, okay? Buddy. Bucko. I really don't like Bayern, guys. I really don't. Okay. Also, like, it was a penalty, but he made such a meal out of it. Ugh. Who does? Like, is it neutrals? Have you noticed, like, there are some clubs that don't have neutral fans. Like, how many neutral Bayern fans are there? If you're not from Munich or you're not German, are there really any Bayern Munich supporters out there? Like, come on. You know what I mean? It's just not a club that gets you very excited. We win the Bundesliga every year because everyone has those restrictions and we have more money than everybody. And also, they just buy all the good players. How is that not a penalty? That looked like a handball in the box from the Bayern defense to me. Oh, my God. What nonsense is that? Ah, disgusting. Lewandowski, please. You tapped it in from 2 yards out with no goalkeeper there. Relax. Yep, Salzburg got hit in transition there. Long ball. Oh, it sounds like the way the U.S. would concede a goal. Very poor in transition, not winning second balls, not tracking runners, goalkeeper error. It's like something we would concede. Oh, boy. That was some weird goalkeeping, too. He came at it leg first and then just hit it off of Lewandowski. Oh, Lord. Well, this game just got all the fire taken out of it. 3-0 in the first 25 minutes. God, I hate Bayern so much. Like, the thing is, Pete, I'm going to cry if this ends up being 8-2. I feel you, Walter. Well, no worries. What we'll do is we'll just keep answering questions. They don't have to be related to the game. It can be about anything, and we'll just have the game on in the background. Carter Hazlitt says, Pete, watch the Portsmouth game. It's only 2-0. Yeah, totally. Because Portsmouth, that's exciting. How's Aaronson doing, says Calvin Patel. He's doing okay. Is very obviously working very hard, doing good in the press, set up 2 chances or 1 chance for Bayern already that they, should have done. I mean, not for Bayern, for Salzburg, they should have done better with. Had a couple of moments where he's a little too slow to make the pass, but part of that is not just on him. It's also on the fact that Salzburg are not as quick in transition as they could be in certain moments. So Kevin Navas says the good news is we should get a Malik Tillman sighting. That could be true, guys. Malik Tillman reportedly being courted by Greg Berhalter, and he's on the bench. 19-year-old midfielder, German youth international. It'll be interesting if he gets on the field to see what he looks like. Carter Hazlitt says, my Twitter got suspended. I'll follow you on my new one. Did you see what happened at Querétaro versus Atlas? Yes, I did, and I don't even want to talk about it. I'm sick to my stomach. I watched some awful, awful videos, honestly, that kept me up that night. Like, just horrific things, the kind of things you don't ever want to have to watch. And obviously so, so sad, I just think they need to punish not only Querétaro, but the league a lot stiffer than they have punished them so far. And it feels to me like the Mexican authorities and the league are obfuscating and acting like the people who died didn't die at the stadium and trying to cover up stuff. And I really hate that. And it's very hard for, soccer to make progress and change if you don't take it seriously. So, yeah, it's horrific. I wish CONCACAF would do more. The statement that CONCACAF released was a complete joke, right? Just utter corporate nonsense, BS, and basically allowing the Mexican Federation and the league to sort of cover things up and saying we support you, whatever you do, instead of coming out with harsher language and terms and suspensions. And just really so sad, Carter Hazlitt says, how do you punish the league? You say no away fan, no fans for Querétaro, right? Deduct like 9 points from Querétaro for one thing. Say no more fans for them for the rest of the season, and no more away fans for anybody else in the league until the end of the season. That'll be a good start right there. Maybe throw Querétaro out of the league for the rest of the season. Do something really, really strong enough that you ensure this would never, ever happen again. Because there was not enough security at the stadium. They didn't do enough to protect the fans. And now they're trying to cover it up, which bothers me the most of everything, right? They're trying to cover up what happened. So I just think they need to be a lot stricter and a lot firmer, on Querétaro, but in general across the league. They need to make a strong statement. They need to send a message. All right, but back to Bayern. It is currently 3-0 in the 28th minute. Maddox, I have no idea about the doors or wheels. Not sure if you're trolling there. Did you see Bruce Arena? Yeah, I did. I saw the Matt Turner thing. So no Matt Turner for for March. No Matt Turner. That will be sad. Zachary says, do you think the Mexican national team should get sanctions or revoke hosting of the 2026 World Cup? That seems a step too far to me, Zachary, just because I don't think it's not really on the Mexican national team, right? And you'd be essentially punishing the wrong people, although you could make the argument that the Mexican Federation should be doing more as well to regulate these Liga MX games. But I think throwing them out of the World Cup or taking away their hosting rights is not, it's too far, and you're punishing the wrong people. I think if anything, the league is what needs to be punished, and especially, obviously, Querétaro, the team. Whew. So 3-0. Ilyas Abdi says, how is Brian Reynolds doing in Belgium? I actually don't know. I haven't had a chance to watch. There's too many Americans to watch on a weekend. I can't keep track of them all. Tack does a pretty good job, though, of keeping track of him with his Americans Abroad series. So check him out. Maybe his videos will give you some clue. I haven't really been tracking Brian Reynolds right now. Most of my focus is on guys who are going to be there in March or who should be there in March. And I don't think he should be. I don't think he's ready right now to be there. I think between Yedlin, Dest, and Scally, we have enough right backs right now. Although we might see Brooks Lennon or Reggie Cannon. Kudos to Salzburg. They haven't given up. They're still fighting. Still working very, very hard to try to deny time and space to Bayern. They just don't have the same quality, you know. It's one thing to get that draw at home. It's another thing to try to do this now, you know, to try to go to Bayern and get a result when the disparity in talent and wages and transfer fees and everything between the two clubs is just completely massive. So I just feel like Sargent will have a big moment for us this window. Am I crazy? No, I have a feeling he will too. Oh, look, it's 4-0. Now there's some terrible keeping for you. Oh, boy. Wow, this got ugly fast, didn't it? Maybe we should switch to like Liverpool, Inter Milan, see what's going on there. Yeah, I have a feeling he will, but you don't know, right? I mean, look, Sargent is playing better for Norwich. He's still missing some big chances, though. He had a header against Liverpool that he should have done better with, in my opinion, at least put it on target. But in terms of his on-ball work, he looks more confident. Oh, come on. It's terrible keeping. It's like right under the keeper. Yeah. Should have stuck his leg out on that one. It was so close to him. Oh, no. Oh, please, Nagelsmann, stop. You're celebrating the fourth goal like it's the winning goal. I mean, I appreciate the passion. I'm just mad. He's right. He's allowed to have passion for his team. I'm just mad. I'm just mad, and I'm taking it out on poor Julian. All right, Chris Gary. Here's some gas money. Oh, thank you, Chris. Gas in Los Angeles is crazy right now. I would expect Greg to go with an Adams, Acosta, Musa midfield versus El Tree. I doubt he sits Adams. I also think he starts Jesus. Yeah, you're right. It's possible. Although Acosta is not an 8, right? So I don't know why you would play him there, even though we've seen many times in World Cup qualifying that that's not going to work. So I hope we don't see him there. If you're going to play Acosta, and I think we should rest Adams for the Panama game. But, you know, you might be right. Greg will Greg. Greg's going to Greg, and we just have to hope we can get out of this window with the 4 points. Really, what we have to do is beat Panama, because I don't think Costa Rica is going to get 9 points. Right? I just don't think that's going to happen. And if we beat Panama, then we're in. So long as we beat Panama and Costa Rica doesn't get 9 points, we collect third. That's all that matters right now. So Carter Hazlitt, $4.99 of gas money won't get you very far. That's literally 1 gallon right now. And that's at a cheap gas station. In LA, it's anywhere from 5.5 to 6. Some places 6.5 per gallon. So yeah. It's exciting times. Jaybird, thanks for all you do, Pete. Love the show. Thank you, Jaybird. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, everybody who's chipping in on this dreary game that is 4-0 4-0 after 33 minutes. All right. Who is playing Costa Rica this window? So Costa Rica is playing Canada, I believe, is their first game. And then they have us in the final game. And in between, let's see. Does anybody know who they're playing in between? The in-between game. What is going on? Oh, that's the CONCACAF Championship. El Salvador. Thank you. It's El Salvador. El Salvador is the third team that they're going to play. So Costa Rica is 5 points behind us right now. If they don't beat Canada in that opening game, It's very hard for them. If they don't beat Canada in that opening game and we beat Panama, then that's all we need. Now, obviously, we shouldn't go hoping to just get that, because if we get 3 or 4 points and qualify, we'll still be in third, which in my opinion is not good enough for this team. We shouldn't be behind Mexico and Canada, all right, in the final standings. We'll take it, obviously, because it means we qualify. But think about that. With the most talented generation we've ever had, the fact that we're sitting here fighting for third or fourth place with 3 games to spare is really kind of pathetic, and just sort of an indictment on the way that we've been playing and how we've been set up and the performances and the results and all of that. I mean, the things we've talked about, all the time. I think we'll end up getting 4 points. I think we will lose in Mexico. And I think we'll beat Panama and draw in Costa Rica. That's my honest opinion. 4 or 5. We could also get a draw in Azteca. I would be surprised if we win in Azteca, but, to Greg's credit, his record against Mexico is very good. Hasn't played them away yet, right? So this will be a good test for him, for sure. But with Jimenez coming into form, Lozano is now back. They're at home. I would be surprised. And also we're missing McKennie. No Reyna for that game, probably, at least not starting. And Greg's overcomplicated tactics and stubbornness and, favoritism and all the things we talk about all the time. I would be surprised. But you know what? Prove me wrong, Greg. Let's go get a win in Azteca. I wouldn't hate it. Ultimately, getting that win in Panama is the number one priority, right? Salzburg really loves dribbling in their own box, huh? All right, let's see. What do we got? It is definitely a downgrade. I mean, there's no way that, Atletico Madrid to the Houston Dynamo is not a downgrade. It's a huge downgrade. But I think for Herrera, he's at a point in his life where he's probably not going to make anywhere near the kind of money that Houston is offering him anywhere else. So he could continue, not at Atletico Madrid, right? I don't think they would, keep him on past this season anyways. But he could still play in La Liga. He could still play, I think, at a pretty decent level. I just don't know if any of those levels are going to offer him the kind of money that Houston was offering him, right? And so coming back to the U.S., in a market that really does need a sort of a re-spark, could be very interesting. It's good for MLS, obviously, to have a player of his quality coming into the league. And obviously that will do well to put butts in seats. But yeah, it's a huge downgrade for him. He's aging. But it is still definitely a downgrade. He could keep going at a much higher level, in my opinion. But sometimes at the end of your career, you're thinking about money, right? You're like, I don't have money. Oh, Brendan. Ooh. So close. So close. Yeah. So definitely a downgrade for sure. Oh, man. That would have been so close. The stream is not paused. I'm still here. Is it paused for you guys? Let me just close the door. All right, 38th minute. Bayern on a counterattack after a Salzburg free kick just outside the box. We've got Lewandowski charging in the center, and it's out for a throw. Oh, man. What if we don't qualify? What's the next move? Pain. Lots of pain. Yeah, if we don't qualify, I don't even want to contemplate that right now. It's just way too much to consider. And I think we will qualify, guys. We have more than enough quality to not only qualify, but to finish top 2. I don't think we'll finish top 2, and a lot of that is down to how we've played so far. But I think we will qualify, guys. I do. I think we'll step up to the challenge, and we will qualify. If we don't qualify, it's over for a lot of people, right? This channel may be over. People may not watch. People may not watch my videos anymore if, there's no World Cup. I think a lot of people in America will just tune out on soccer. It'll be like too painful to keep watching, to keep supporting, to keep being a part of it. And I think a lot of people will just tune out, and that will be very unfortunate. I won't tune out. I will continue to watch. I will dedicate a lot more of my channel, honestly, to what is wrong with us, what is wrong with the way we do soccer in this country if we don't qualify. What's wrong with our federation, how Berhalter was hired, selection processes, the way that things are going, the very unholy trinity between some USSF and MLS. There's a lot about this country that we need to do a lot better in. The whole pay-to-play model, MLS in itself, it has many problems. Okay, it's our league, and I support it because it's ours and because I want it to continue to improve. But there are a lot of problems with MLS too. There are lots of things that we can do a lot better in. A lot of people don't want to hear those things when we're doing well, right? When you're doing well, a lot of people are like, oh, you're being negative. Stop being toxic. Shut up. But reality is, even teams that are doing really well in the world are always asking, how can we improve? How can we be better, right? And so there are many things that we can do a lot better in, and I'll continue to call those out. Now, if we don't qualify for a World Cup, maybe some people will want to listen more. I don't know. We'll see. But I do believe we're going to the World Cup. I do believe we're going to get it done. Remember, we're 4 points ahead of Panama, right? And 5 points ahead of Costa Rica, okay? And all we really need to do, if Costa Rica does not get 3 points in that opening game against Canada, all we need to do is beat Panama. And if we can't do that, if we cannot beat Panama at home, then we shouldn't be in the World Cup. Carter Hazlitt says, what would you do regarding YouTube if the U.S. don't qualify? I mean, I'm not going to shut my channel down. Look, Tack and I are still going to cover the World Cup regardless. We have some very exciting news about the World Cup. Germany is my second team, so I'll cover Germany as well. Obviously, Brazil is his other team, so he's going to cover them. But we are going to cover soccer every single day during the World Cup, okay? We are going to definitely be on YouTube. We'll continue to cover the U.S. national team. We might pivot, maybe bring in some more European soccer, cover European things, Americans in Europe. We're not going anywhere, whether we qualify or not. Ultimately, I do this because I love it, right? I didn't start a YouTube channel because I said, oh, the World Cup is coming up, and so we have to, take advantage of that by starting a YouTube channel. No, I started a YouTube channel because I love the American game and because I want to talk about it and give my thoughts. And I will continue to do that whether we qualify for the World Cup or not, right? But I'm not going anywhere, no. But I have a feeling a lot of people will. I have a feeling a lot of people will tune out just because it will be too painful. But guys, enough negativity. We're going to the World Cup, okay? You got to believe. We have trauma and PTSD from Cuba, and that's kind of understandable. But we're in a very different situation this time, okay? All right. Ken the King. Missing the World Cup will further reinforce Charles Barkley saying on air that USMNT sucks, unlike the women. Yeah, but then he won't be wrong, will he? I mean, on a world stage, let's be honest, we do suck. Compared to the rest of the world, we're not a good team. We are an average team at best on a good day. And I think going to a World Cup will reinforce that. Okay? We're getting better. We're improving. We have some very good players, but a team is ultimately the sum of performances and results on the field. And let's be honest, outside of last summer, when we won 2 trophies, we have not been very good ever since. Let's be honest. All right. Thank you, Ken the King. I appreciate it. But guys, enough about missing the World Cup. We're not going to miss the World Cup. We're going to go. You have to believe that, okay? We're in a very different place right now. Yes, we have some issues. Yes, there are problems, in my opinion, with Berhalter and his style and what he's trying to do. Actually, overall, I agree with what Berhalter is trying to do. All right. In a big moment, in a big picture sense, he's trying to make us the protagonists of the game, right? He wants us to have the ball, to use the ball effectively, right? I agree with that because we have the player pool to do it, and we should be able to play that way. So in that sense, I agree with what he's trying to do. I just have concerns with how he's trying to do it, right? And that's, I don't need to harp on that. We've discussed that many, many times. All right. Jason, if you were forced to start a newbie, come on, Brendan, turn away from pressure, not into it. Away from pressure, not into it. If you were forced to start a newbie against the Mexico, I love that. Which rookie would you start? It's a good question, man. Which rookie would I start against Mexico? If I was forced to? Wow. I don't know if I would start a rookie again. What's a rookie? Somebody who's never been capped before? Clarify what you mean by a rookie, Jason. All right. Let's see. Kevin Polite. Is Herc a nice guy? Yeah, super nice guy. I wouldn't have him on my channel if he wasn't. Super nice guy. If it's somebody who's never been capped before, I'd go either Scally or Balogun, because those are the only two guys that would even remotely fit in who've never been capped before. Jonathan Gomez has been capped. So, not Gaga, Carter. Not Gaga. All right, 4-0, 45 minutes. We're in 1 minute of extra time. It's a finished game, feels like. So we're gonna obviously keep watching till the end, but we'll talk about a lot of other stuff in the meantime. Just make this like a live hangout. Juan Salazar, what are you eating, by the way? Ricola. I have a little bit of a sore throat, and talking makes it worse. So the Ricola has helped to soothe my throat while I talk. So non-capped players, Jason clarifies here, non-capped players in a competitive games like Scally and Jogo, Booth, or Bassett. Okay, so I would probably go Jogo then, because I think there's the smallest drop-off from Anthony Robinson to Jogo than there is from, say, Desk to Scally or anybody else to Bassett or Booth. So I'd probably go Jogo if I had to start a complete rookie. Yes. Most underrated. This is a good one. Most underrated youngsters in MLS. Ooh, that's a good question. So underrated is very subjective, right? Because I might rate somebody differently than you do or than somebody else does. So it's like, okay, so it's halftime now. I don't know. Kevin Polite has a shout for Aiden Morris, which honestly I don't hate. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him after that injury. I said on a recent Patreon video that in my opinion, Aiden Morris is a hybrid of Michael Bradley and Tyler Adams. So Michael Bradley's passing ability, his ability to sort of quarterback a game. And he's got the closing down speed of Tyler Adams. Now, what he doesn't have yet is the reading of the game that Tyler Adams has. But I do think that I think it's something he can learn over time. And I'm very excited to see how he does. He hasn't started yet for the Crew this season. He has to fight Artur Nagby for a spot, Nagby. But I hope that he can, because he's a top player with a lot to offer. So definitely someone to keep an eye on in 2022. Aaron Alexander. I've noticed even CBS K Golazzo have an MLS agenda. That's an interesting comment. I'm not going to comment too much on individual other channels or media members, but I will say that generally speaking, if you work for a network that has a monetary deal with U.S. Soccer or CONCACAF, then you do have to espouse certain talking points. And this has been confirmed to me by many, many people, even in and outside the media. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You're probably not too far off there, though, Aaron. Pete, hope our young midfielders will be ready to hop back up and defend after all those fouls that won't be called. Thank you, Dan. I don't know. I guess you're probably right. I think Mexico's going to do a lot of fouling. What's the over-under on Hector Herrera choking somebody? There's no Wes. Either choking somebody or going studs up on somebody, right? Guardado choked Wes in the Gold Cup in 2019. Herrera choked him in the Nations League. Herrera went studs up on Ethan Horvath and Tim Weah in the Nations League. He went studs up on Eric Williamson in the Gold Cup final. Whew. I said when he came to MLS that MLS players better up their insurance coverage. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that, and whether or not the referees are going to be better about things. And if they're going to be they're going to kick Pulisic. That's going to happen regardless, right? They know the best way to stop Pulisic is to hack at him. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, right? But the good news for us is Pulisic has been healthy since October 31st and hasn't missed a single game with injury or illness. So fingers crossed he can keep that going. I don't think Hector Herrera is out. He got a yellow card in the last game, but he didn't get a red card, so I don't think he's out, Ryan. Maybe Pulisic can draw 1,000 penalties like Lewandowski did today. That'd be cool. Winning an Azteca would be amazing. K Center says, do you think Jonathan Gomez is committed to the U.S., or do you think he'll switch to Mexico? I don't know. I think he's leaning towards us right now. That's what I've heard, but that he hasn't decided. Michael Maggiano, that chewing gum is amateur hour, baby. So first of all, Mike, I'm not chewing gum. I am having Ricola for my throat. I'm sorry if it bothers you. I'm sure it's a little annoying. The problem is I have a little bit of a sore throat. And when I talk for 2 hours straight with a sore throat, it puts a bit of a strain on my throat. So I have to kind of keep sucking on these just to soothe my throat. Otherwise, continuing to talk nonstop, it takes a toll on you. It doesn't. You don't think it does, but when you have to talk straight for 2 hours, you realize how fragile your throat actually is. So I'm sorry if it's annoying. I'm not trying to be, but it's either that or I don't talk, and that would make for a terrible stream. All right. Let's see. Doesn't Tyler Adams have a yellow card? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's on a yellow. So just one more yellow, and he'll be out for the next game. And we need to hang on to him for Panama, in my opinion. Oh, Herrera is out because of yellow card accumulation. Oh, I did not know that. Is that for sure? Are you guys sure about that? I might be wrong then. My bad. Oh, yeah, you're right. So Hector Herrera will be out. Interesting. That changes a lot. Is it going to be Andres Guardado who takes his place? Or is it going to be Luis Romo? Because I think Charlie Rodriguez will start in one of the attacking midfield spots. I think Edson Alvarez will start in holding midfield. And typically the other one has been Hector Herrera. But if he's not there, could be Luis Romo, could be Sebastian Cordova, could be most likely Andres Guardado, if you ask my opinion. All right, so halftime, guys. 4-0. Keep firing away with the questions. Keep them coming. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Oh, here's a fun question for you guys. I am looking at cars right now because my car is very, very old and I need to buy a new car. And I'm looking at hybrid options for obvious reasons, with the gas prices being what they are. Hybrid is the best option for me. And also, let's be honest, hybrid option is a less carbon in the atmosphere, better for the environment. So if anybody has suggestions, let me know, because I'm looking at different options. I'm leaning towards a compact SUV, sort of a larger vehicle, but not like a full-on SUV, because I do like to do a lot of hiking and camping and cross-country driving and that sort of stuff. Why not get a Prius? My girlfriend has a Prius. I do like Priuses. They're good cars, but I'm looking at something a little bigger. I currently drive a Ford C-Max, which is also a hybrid. I get 44 miles per gallon in it. And I like it a lot, but it's got 140,000 miles, and it's kind of, it's exhausting its lifespan. And I'm getting to the place where I'm just going to be spending more money on it, like spending more money on repairs and upkeep that I could be putting into a newer vehicle. So financially, it makes sense to make a switch about now. RAV4 hybrid. I've been looking at that one. It's just very expensive. That's the problem. RAV4 hybrid, it's very expensive, especially with the current markups. Shreyset says Ford Lightning. Yeah, I'm not going to get in a completely electric car because I do too much cross-country driving to make that feasible. I need something that I'm not going to get stuck on the highway without a charger. So Jason Gonzalez says, I'll buy your car, Pete. My car died. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I don't want you to have my car because it's very old right now and it's not going to last you very long. So Seth says the HRV has lots of cargo space and is pretty compact. And here's where my vanity comes in, Seth. It looks like a suburban mom's car. That's where I'm like, I'm not so sure about the Honda HRV. So, Carter Hazlitt, ask your fans for donations like USSF did. No, what I need to do is find a 16-year-old kid and ask him to ask the fans for donations like the USSF did. Let's see here. So Sam/Yank Report said he thinks Paxton Pomykal is a dark horse for an 8 for this upcoming window because of Nico and his relationship with Triple G. Thoughts? Possible? I would be very surprised because he hasn't called Pomykal in for a very long time. And Pomykal has been okay in the opening 2 games, but he hasn't been excellent. Pomykal needs to build up a rhythm, right? He needs to play regularly for a full season without getting injured and play well as an 8, not just 2 opening games of the season where he's been okay, good in some moments, but not a standout. If he goes, I mean, I'd rather have him there than a guy like Leggett or Roldan. But I think we have better options. Like, I think Mihailovic deserves a call-up more than Pomykal right now. To be honest, there's even Alex Mendes in Portugal who probably deserves a call-up more than Pomykal right now. But if we have Musa, De La Torre, Busio, Reina, and Mihailovic, I'm comfortable with those 5 options as attacking midfielders. So, Subaru cross-check. I was looking at this one too, Kenny. I was looking at this one too. Honestly, guys, the one I'm leaning towards the most right now is the Ford Escape Hybrid because it's on the same running system that my Ford C-Max is, and it's a really nice car. It's big enough that I can take it out of the city, and it's like a compact SUV, but it's also small enough that I can drive it around the city. So that's one of my options right now. If anybody has one of those, let me know. I'd love to hear your review. But yeah, Kenny, I don't hate the Subaru cross-check either. That could be a very good one. I'll look at them for sure. Chris Gary says, everyone pray for snow in my part of the country. I have college midterms and I want it delayed. All right. Jesus, God, Allah, Jehovah, whatever God you pray to, unless you're a non-Christian like me. I'm not an atheist. I'm a, what's the word? Not that it's like in between atheist and like religious. It is, can't remember the word now, but basically someone who says, I don't know what's real or what's true. So that's where I'm at. But yes, we'll send good vibes in your part of the country. Agnostic. Thank you, Seth. Yes, I'm an agnostic where I say I don't know. That's where I'm at. I pray for Pulisic God. Diced. Kevin Polite. Bad time to buy a car. I bought one and each dealership had one car. I know that's the problem. I'm trying to hold off as long as I can because they have these markups on the vehicles right now and you end up paying above sticker price, which I don't love. Jonathan, I really love the Ford Maverick. It's a hybrid vehicle as well. The problem is they're completely sold out. They've got backup orders for like months and months and months. So as much as I would love that, I don't think that's going to be a realistic option for me right now. But enough car talk. Let's move on to soccer topics. Let's see. Everyone's giving their people they pray to in the chat. Love it. Spiritual. I am spiritual, kind of. All right, here's a good one from Ryan. Who do you think Triple G saw on his UK tour? Did he make it to Nottingham Forest and visit Mitten and Horvath? I think you mean Alex Mitten. Yeah. I don't know if he saw Horvath. I know he saw Sargent. He was definitely in the stands for that game. Probably, going to call Sargent in, I would hope. I think he deserves another call-in. I did hear he was talking to Alex Miten. I also heard he was talking to the Tillman boys. So it'll be interesting to see if Malik Tillman comes on in the second half of this game, which has not started yet. It is currently a 4-0 blowout, everybody. 4-0 blowout to Bayern in the first half. Nobody has officially switched as far as we know, KMA, Preston. Nobody. Do you think PFOC will get called up? J-Town. That's a good one. Hard to know with Greg, right? You think he would, but if you look at Greg, we know for sure 2 guys are getting called in, right? That is Ferreira and Zardes. Those are his 2 favorites. So that really only leaves room for 1 more guy. That's probably going to be Sargent. I would actually not surprise me if he leaves Pepe at home. So if Sargent goes, then I don't think PFOC goes. Now, that's not what I would do. I'm just telling you what I think Greg might do. Okay? You're not watching that anymore. I leave that to you. Oh, the game. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Feel like people drop the rumors of players switching to us just to give me false hope. So, K-May Preston, look, none of those guys is a game changer for us, right? Alex Miten struggled in the championship this season, okay? These aren't high-end players. None of them are a Gio Reyna or Christian Pulisic level, okay? They're good depth options, or they're good, definitely pieces, maybe even starters at some point for us. But honestly, the big one that I think we need to focus on getting right now is Jonathan Gomez. I think he's got the highest ceiling of any left back in either the U.S. or Mexico. And I think it's really important because it's a position of weakness to get that right and to get Jonathan Gomez to commit to us. That's the one that I think is really important. Balogun, Tillman, Miten, all those guys, they'd be nice to have for sure, but they're not as crucial as Jogo is for us right now. Odds we see double pivot in Mexico, I doubt we see it. I really doubt we see it because we haven't seen him try a double pivot yet. Yes, Aaronson is still on the pitch. The second half is about to kick off. Bayern Munich has made a couple of substitutions that I didn't watch, who got subbed in and subbed out. So second half about to kick off. Yes, very okay. LDT at the 6. Musa and Aaronson from Mexico game. Good midfield. I wouldn't hate it. I honestly wouldn't hate that. I might have concerns about DLT as a single. I think DLT works better in a double pivot, but as a single 6, I don't know if he has the defensive chops for that, and that could be very risky playing in Azteca. If you're going to play Musa as a holding or defensive midfielder, I think he's better in a double pivot. So just my thoughts. Again, I'm sort of like, I'm kind of cheating on the Thursday video, but my midfield for Mexico is Acosta, De La Torre, and Musa. That's the midfield I would go with. Just joined. What's the score? Longmorn. It's 4-0 to Bayern, and the second half just kicked off. So Kevin Navas says Brooks has to get called in this window, right? Can't use the form excuse anymore. Yes, by yours or my estimation, yes. But remember, this is Greg we're dealing with. And I think it's pretty clear to all of us right now that it's nothing to do with form. And there's something else going on. But you know what? Derek from the straight red card thinks he's going to get called in. So you never know. Maybe Greg will go, yeah, we need his experience in this camp. It's a high-pressure camp, and his experience will come in handy. Not to mention his distribution out of the back is a very important part of how Greg wants to play. The problem with Brooks, as I've said many times, is that his defending in transition is very poor, right? When you're playing a high line, he struggles to get back when the ball is played in behind. And the way that Greg likes to play at certain moments is very much like that. But part of the problem is we don't get enough pressure on the ball, so they are still able to keep playing the ball in behind us, right? It wouldn't be as big of an issue if we got more pressure on the ball, but our pressing schemes are very, very, what's the word? Our pressing schemes are very disjointed. And the way that we press is very disjointed. We don't press together. We don't have the right pressing triggers. We don't see the full team pressing as one unit. And so I just don't know if it's very smart to play a high line with John Brooks in it if you're going to be trying to press that high and you're so bad at it, right? So Daddy Locke says, Pete, would it be a terrible idea to play with 2 6s and Aaronson, Pulisic as a 10? Not at all. Honestly, this is, if I was in charge, I would probably go either 4-2-3-1 or 3-5-2 in the Azteca, right? And I would probably go Acosta and De La Torre as the double pivot with Pulisic or Musa in front of them as the 10, right? That's what I would do. Who do you think will be goalkeeper? I do think it will be Horvath, Roach. Chris Carey. Did you see that certain someone wants Bobby Wood, Josie Altidore, Joe Corona, and Aaron Along? Yeah, guys, go easy on. I think you know who I'm talking about. Go easy on him. I know people like to troll him a lot, but, you know, I just think maybe it's a little unnecessary at times. And maybe there's some other things to take into account. I don't want to say them, but just considering everything that's said, sometimes there are some other factors to take into account with that account. Okay. All right. Ilyas, how you doing, buddy? How's London these days? Balogun is also eligible for Nigeria. That is true. But he has the likes of Osimhen, Dennis, Iheanacho ahead of him. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to be either England or the US for Balogun. I don't know if he would ever play for England, to be honest. Talk about options. England has so many options in front of him. He would have to be killing it in the Premier League to even warrant a look by England. And I just don't know. Remember, Balogun is not that young anymore. He's almost 21. So he isn't like a teenager. And this is his first professional season. He does seem like a skillful player with some high upside. I just don't know if he's ever going to be an England regular. Like, I don't know if he'd ever be in an England World Cup roster. So I think switching to the US makes sense for him. But by the same token, I'm not that excited about Balogun just because I think he's a nice additional piece for us, but I don't think he's a game changer for us. That's just my thoughts. All right. So Spencer Doherty. Are you Irish, Spencer? Doherty. Pete, this is really out there, but because of Brooks's passing capabilities, could he play as a 6 in front of Robinson and Zimmerman? The problem with that, Spencer, is that he doesn't have the, what's the right word? You have to have very quick reactions, right? You have to be very good in tight spaces and very defensively strong and very good in duels, okay, to play as a 6. And he doesn't have any of those things, right? He's not nimble. He's not agile. He's a big towering center back who's sort of a lumbering center back who has a very good passing range. But if you're talking about the quickness, the nimbleness, the agility, and the speed, closing down space over short distances to play as a 6, he just doesn't have that. So I wouldn't play him as a 6. Chris Gary is dreaming here. Picture this scenario. USMNT up 1-0 and Mexico get a penalty. Guardado steps up and Ethan Horvath saves it again. And the U.S. counter and Pulisic makes it 2-0 at the Azteca. Wouldn't that be the dream, huh? Wouldn't that just be the dream? So here's a good question by Roach. Is Maximo Carrizo really good enough to be in the MLS at 14? No. Nobody's good enough to be in the MLS at that age. What MLS is doing is they're signing them to stop them from, they're like locking them in early, right? They're trying to stop them from like going abroad at 16. Like if they have a Euro, 14 seems very early to me. But if they have a Euro passport, then they could technically leave to Europe by the time they're 16. So perhaps, just perhaps, they're trying to lock him in because he has a European passport. It's possible, but I don't know the specifics of that deal. If he was good enough right now to be playing, he would be playing, and he's not, right? Okay. Pete, if the U.S. win in Azteca, will you giddy on the live post game? I don't know how to giddy. Gritty, sorry. I don't know how to gritty. But if we win in Azteca, okay. I'll go on YouTube. I'll find out how to do it, or TikTok or something. Let's see. Isaac, how you doing, buddy? Reducindo. Tell me how to say that properly, Isaac. Will there ever be a USMNT player in the top 25 Ballon d'Or rankings? Yeah, I think there could be. I think, honestly, Weston McKennie could be one in the top 25. I think Gio Reyna could absolutely be one. I even think that Pulisic could be one. If Pulisic can have a full season being healthy and being played in his correct position under a coach and system that believes in him and that suits him, he could absolutely be a top 25 player in the world. I really believe that. And I'm not being hyperbolic. You saw this when he had that half season at Chelsea under Lampard, when he was like one of the best wingers in the Premier League for about 6 months straight, scoring or assisting pretty much every game. Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, just scoring for fun almost, right? And extremely dangerous, extremely effective. He's been hurt by injuries. He's been hurt by inconsistency, and it's 5-0 Bayern. All right, Thomas Mueller, 5-0. Oh, Balogun goal? Did Balogun score? What is going on? Hang on. Did Balogun score? Middlesbrough, 3-1 in the 64th minute. Oh, look. Folarin Balogun scored in the 62nd. There you go. It's his first professional goal for Middlesbrough. Yeah, so absolutely. I think Pulisic, McKennie, Reyna, possibly even Dest, if he continues to improve, could all be top 25 Ballon d'Or players in the world. I don't think that Dest ever will, just because I don't think fullbacks get the same kind of love that attackers get when it comes to that sort of voting. But yes, in terms of quality, then yes, I think they could be. Musa, maybe. It's a wait and see game with Musa. Still way too inconsistent in my opinion. Musa has to be more consistent, but he could get there. He's still very young, right? Same age as Gio Reyna. Gaga Slonina. I mean, that's not a bad shout, Gunnar. I could see that. I mean, he's already starting professionally at 17. So, yeah. I mean, when he's in his mid-20s, he could be one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the world. Owen, so this is too far. Owen Jones. Pete, if we qualify for the World Cup, will you hit the gritty on stream? Not if we qualify for the World Cup, because I think that's very likely to happen. And let's be honest, I don't really want to hit the gritty. Don't think that's something anybody should be subjected to. But if we win in Azteca, then I'll hit the gritty in the live stream after the game. And Tack is going to never let that one go. All right. Oh, no. Jason Gonzalez, what is your horrific hot take? Mine is giving Soto a lifeline. Yeah, Soto has not done anything to even remotely be in that conversation, Jason. He has a lot of issues that he's going to have to sort out before he's even talked about, right? He has to be playing professionally for one thing, which he kind of isn't right now. So, yeah, my horrific hot take, oof. I don't think I have any horrific hot takes. I think most of my takes are pretty reasonable. Unless you think I'm Twitter ISIS or Hitler, then you probably think most of my takes are hot takes. I don't know. Here's my hot take. I don't think it's horrific. I think that Gio Reyna could be in the top 3 for Ballon d'Or one day. That's my hot take. I think that Gio Reyna in his prime will be one of the best players in the world. And I don't think that's even that hot of a take, to be honest. A lot of it depends on whether or not he can stay healthy. All right. So I agree with this, Longmorn. I think we should go to Mexico with the attitude that we can win. 100%. You never play for a draw. If you're playing for a draw, you're very high chance of losing. Oh, come on. Too much on that one. Brendan Aaronson, it's currently 5-0 to Bayern. Rough game. Rough game to be a Salzburg supporter. Here we go. Chris Gary. Sorry, Pete. Acosta, too many caps was a bad one in hindsight. Not necessarily. I still think he's gotten too many caps. Doesn't mean he can't contribute, but I think he's played way more games than his actual quality deserves. He's Greg Berhalter's #1 most capped player under his tenure. And Acosta's not terrible, but in my opinion, he's played way too many games. More games than he should have played. If he's being used as a backup for Tyler Adams, fine. But let's be honest. How many times did Greg play him as a dual 8 when he should have had him on the bench, right? So, no. In my opinion, that's not too hot of a take. Who is calling me? My girl's calling me. Let me just see what she wants. Anything urgent on a live stream? All right. So do you understand my point, Chris? It's not that Kellen Acosta shouldn't be involved, but I still believe he's gotten too many caps. I don't think he's been worthy of the amount of playing time that he's gotten. Alphonso Davies or Reece James? Alphonso Davies. So here's a good take on Acosta from KMA Preston. Acosta isn't bad, but is still very inconsistent. I'm just waiting for some young sixes to step up and take that backup spot very soon. Yeah, I think that he's a good placeholder right now. And, you know, from all the reports, he's also a very good leader within the group. And so I'm fine with him being on the roster. I'm just not fine with the amount of playing time he's gotten out of position. Girl says, oh gosh, no, just wanted to chat. Should I call her back? Hey.
I thought you were on a live stream.
I know. Say hi to everyone.
Oh, hi.
Did you get the car fixed?
The what?
Did you get the mirror fixed?
I had to order it from AutoZone, like even the one they sent me from Hollywood to Glendale, where he assured me they would have it in stock. He could see it on the computer.
Oh,
and
no.
Glendale was really confused. And I was like, we don't have it in stock, but I can order it for you and it'll be there tomorrow.
Oh.
So I'm going to get it fixed tomorrow and then do the inspection. And,
okay. All right. Well, everyone's saying hi to you in the chat. Walter De Epic says hi. Ismail says hi. Ryan says hi. S27 says he broke his mirror also, so he can relate to you. Isaac says, hello, Mrs. 11 Yanks.
I'll take that.
We all say, hey, she sounds cool. They said you sound cool, babe.
That's amazing. That made my day.
Oh, you guys made her day. Good job. Also, it's International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day, babe.
Thank you, and happy International Women's Day to all the women of your fans. And
it's mostly dudes, let's be honest.
No, the women of them.
Oh, they're women. Yes. Yes, that's true.
Women, yeah.
Well, not their women, but the women in their lives. Yes, sure.
Yes, whatever you want to call it, we'll go with that.
All right.
All right.
I love you, babe. I'll talk to you later.
I love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. She's a doll. All right. So Bayern, oh no, Salzburg making some subs. Adamu coming out for Kiergaard. Maritz Kiergaard. That's a name I don't know that well. All right. Graf Brussier. How good do you think Obed Vargas will be? Do you think he could be a solid backup 6 or even take over Adams at some point? Sure. I think he could be. He's still very, very young, and we have a very small sample size on him, right? What I like about Obed Vargas is that he seems technically competent and comfortable in a very strong Seattle team, right? He still has a lot to work on in terms of his decision making, but obviously you love to see 16-year-olds making their debut. He also seems, unlike his predecessor, Danny Leva, who was another option at the 6, he seems to have the physique to be able to compete in MLS right away, whereas that's something that Danny Leva, I think, still has to grow into, and his injuries have not helped him. So I like Obed Vargas, but again, the sample size on him is so small that, it's too early to say. But he's certainly a candidate. Him and Aiden Morris are probably two big candidates right now for that backup 6 spot in the future. Maybe not right now. Ryan, yes, that's the kid from Alaska. Banana Landlock says, what country is Mrs. 11 Yanks from? She's German. She's from Germany. She's from a little area of Germany called Mainz, near Frankfurt. And just outside Mainz is where she's from. Charles Drew says, stop with the Obed Vargas irrationality. What about what I said was irrational? I literally said to pump the brakes. All right, no pen for Aaronson. Do you think Pepe will look this summer in the winter window? No, I think Pepe is going to stay there. I think Pepe is going to stay there and fight it out in the second division if they get relegated. And if not, he's going to fight it out in the first division. We need to be patient with Pepe. He's still very young. He played his first full professional season, became an international, right? Is under a lot of pressure to produce, highest ever price tag for Augsburg, right? It's a lot of pressure for Pepe. And Pepe still has things that he can work on technically. So yeah. I like Pepe, guys, but I think we might be overreacting to a bad moment for him. Like, he's going through a rough patch of form right now. I think some people are overreacting to that a little bit. You got to be patient with these young guys. It isn't all going to come together right away. There's talent there. There's hunger there. That's all good to see. There's going to be, with young players, I've said this many times, variance in performance, and you got to support them through the rough times because you know they're going to come out better on the other side. And they're all very, very young. So, all right. How does Lewan keep on scoring so much? He's just a very good striker. He's got it all. Technique, reading of the game, instinct, right? The physique, the height, the knows where to be in the right place at the right time, right? I like this hot take a lot. Hoppy has the highest ceiling in our number 9 pool. I actually agree with this. I 100% agree with this. I think that Hoppy is a better striker than Sargent or Pepe. But he's in a very bad place right now. He's just not in a good spot. But in terms of long term, I actually agree with this. And this may come back to bite me one day. But I think he's our best. I think he is one of our best forward. Probably our best, or forward with the highest ceiling, not our best right now. Well, the bots found us. All right. See, I disagree with that, Adam. Hang on, where'd it go? I think actually Hoppy is very technical. I just think he hasn't really had a chance to be included and believed in over in Mallorca. That's my opinion. How do you guys deal with shoulder tension? I have no idea, Juan Salazar. Inter just scored. Oh, boy. I actually think, Adam, that Hoppy is better than he gets credit for. Do you remember he was versatile enough in the Gold Cup? And he was the only guy in that front line who really looks like he could create anything out of nothing. Remember against Mexico when he beat the player on the dribble and almost scored? And then it was just a block that came in from one of the Mexican players. He's a guy who can take players out of the game with his movement and skill. I think he's very technically good. Okay. Would you still take Hoppe over Balogun if Balogun switches? I mean, right now, Balogun is playing and scoring and assisting. So probably right now I would prefer Balogun. But in terms of ceiling, I don't know. It's a good question. I have to watch more of Balogun to really say. I haven't seen that much of him. He seems very technical for sure and very skillful, and I like that. But I would have to see more of him before making a call or a judgment like that. This game's 5-0. And then every time they're on the counterattack, they just give it away, Salzburg. They just don't have the quality. They really don't. It sucks, but I mean, this was sort of what we expected from this game, right? Maybe not 5-0, but we did kind of expect a Bayern blowout. Berhalter was/is so in love with Areola that he played over Gioacchini in Gold Cup also. Yeah. Yeah, I think that honestly, a lot of Hoppe's issues with Greg Berhalter are very little to do with skill or talent and more with Hoppe is never going to be a yes man who just does whatever he's told. That's not who he is. Hoppe reminds me a lot of Clint Dempsey. He's brash and he's got cojones and he's got attitude, right? The thing for Hoppe is that he has to learn how to take that up to a certain point, right? Take it right up to the line where it's a benefit to you, but not cross the line to where there's diminishing returns and now it's actually hurting you. So that's, I mean, he's young, so he can still learn that, but I like that grit. I like that winning mentality. Gio Reyna has it. He's always up for a fight. He doesn't get intimidated by anything. He's not scared to question why the coach subbed him out when he felt like he was one of the best players on the field. Okay. You can make the argument that that's hurting his playing time, but you know, there are good things to that attitude too. You just have to control it, right? Controlled aggression is really the best way for football players to go. It's bots are back again. I heard Hoppe called Berhalter a bitch in the locker room. I'm not sure who you heard that from, but there's no actual evidence of that. You may have heard that from a source. I did hear that there was some tension in the dressing room after the Panama game, that De La Torre and Hoppe both felt that they should have been on the field for that game at some point, and they weren't, and they were unhappy that they were not there. But I did not hear anything about the B word being thrown around. That does make me laugh, though. All right. That's something Hoppe would do. Yeah, exactly. I put them in block, Gunner. I put the bot in block. All right. Bayern 5-0. We're in the 70th minute. 20 minutes to go. I hope my throat holds out here, guys. But this is not a fun game to watch from an American perspective. We just need... Aaronson skips past his man. Come on, Aaronson. Come on. Find the pass. Yep. You have to finish it. Finish it. Aaronson assist. Aaronson assist. Aaronson assist. Aaronson assist. Aaronson assist. Brendan assist. Let's go. Oh, Brendan Aaronson. Oh, Brendan Aaronson. Doesn't really go, does it? All right, look at that. Skips past the Bayern player, holds on to the ball just long enough to draw the defender to him, and then sets up the winner. That's 2 assists against Bayern for Brendan Aaronson. Silver lining for this game. Yes, they completely smacked Salzburg, but our boy Brendan Aaronson with 2 assists against Bayern Munich. Let's go. USA, USA, USA. All right. Butters. I should read this in a Butters voice. Now imagine if they hadn't conceded 4 times in the first half. This would be really exciting, LOL. I know. But hey, good on Brendan. 2 assists against Bayern Munich for Brendan Aaronson. My favorite part is when people try to explain the reason that we struggle in CONCACAF is that we don't have talent. This is my favorite excuse for people who they basically try to excuse Berhalter and like take all the responsibility off of him and say our players are just not good enough. We have players like being top players in Champions League runs to the finals, right? We have players being top three players for Juventus, starting right backs for Barcelona, getting assists against Bayern Munich. Oh my God, is Brendan Aaronson limping? Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Get him off the field if he is limping. Don't do this to me. We cannot have another injury. Cannot. Looks like he's okay. Wouldn't risk it. Wouldn't risk it. Whew. All right. Triple G can't use the not in form excuse when Brooks isn't called up for this camp. U.S. soccer journos needs press him on this if he isn't called. I agree, but all he's going to say is it's only form. And then what's going to happen? The journalists, the media guys are going to go, oh, thanks for answering the question, Greg. This is my favorite when they go, hey, Greg, thanks for taking my question. Just wanted to. Everyone seems so scared of him, or so maybe not of Greg himself, but so scared of like the repercussions for asking a real question. And then when Greg pushes back, they like apologize. Who was it who apologized last time? I can't remember who it was. They asked him, I think it was Stephen Goff from the Washington Post, asked him a question about playing time or something, and Greg gave him a snappy response, and he's like, I just wanted to apologize for that. It was just like, okay, stop apologizing, people. All right. So, yes, I agree with you on that. Long story short, I do think Brooks should be there. Doesn't mean he doesn't have weaknesses. Doesn't mean we have to use him right. But I think he's definitely in form for Wolfsburg and should be playing, right? The thing with Brooks is always how you use him is very important if you're going to use him. Because if you have him playing a high line without pressure on the ball, he's going to get exposed. And if you're going to play that way, you can't use him. So, but again, it begs the whole conversation, right? Of why are we trying to shoehorn players into a system instead of creating a system that adapts to the strengths and weaknesses of our best players, right? That's what international soccer is all about. Creating a simple system that allows your players to shine, that takes advantage of their strengths and covers for their weaknesses. We still haven't really done that with this U.S. team. KMA Preston, here's a good one. CCL today needs some MLS wins, but Seattle has looked very meh so far this season. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. They're playing a Mexican team, aren't they? Who are they playing? Are they playing Santos Laguna? Seattle Sounders. Oh, versus Leon. Okay, they're playing Leon. That'll be an interesting game. They're at home in the first quarterfinal. Interesting to see how they do. Right? Ricky Ricardo. Same reason why they'll never invite you on mainstream media. You're too honest. Well, thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that. Here is a good question. 603 Productions. You mentioned that you believe the U.S. may move on from Berhalter after the World Cup. May. I don't know for sure. If he gets to a second round or a quarterfinal, they may say, "Oh, we're gonna keep him." There's a very good chance of that too. I don't think we should keep him, even if he does really well at the World Cup and we go to a quarterfinal. I still think that there's a huge risk with giving coaches more than one cycle, because you do need to freshen things up. You need a new message. You need new ideas, right? To use a Christian Pulisic phrase. It oftentimes doesn't work out so well for international coaches in their second cycle. So that's something to think about. We saw this with Bruce. We saw this with Bradley. We saw this with Klinsmann. It never went as well the second time. So even if Berhalter does very well in this World Cup, when we get there, which we will, I think, and I'm rooting for him, I hope he does do well, I still think that for 2026, we need the best possible coach, not a decent coach, right? Or a meh coach. I don't even think a good coach is good enough. We have a chance to elevate soccer in this country with a very strong run in 2026 at home. And we need to give ourselves every opportunity to get as far as we can in 2026. That means going with the best possible coach that you can get for the player pool that we have. Personally, I would like to see us talk to Roberto Martinez. I think that Roberto Martinez has experience at many levels. He's been at the international level. He's also has experience taking a team that is on the come up, new talent, and getting the best out of them, right? He took Belgium to a third place finish. Belgium is aging out now and they don't have the same players. Oh, come on. That should have been another Brendan Aaronson assist. You were standing still there, buddy. Wake up. So Brendan Aaronson takes the ball down and gets a beautiful ball here for number 14, who's flat-footed and doesn't run onto it and reacts too late. And then it's out of his... dang. Who doesn't like Roberto Martinez? I think Roberto Martinez has done a good job. I just think that Belgium is aging out and they don't have the players anymore to play at that level, especially defensively. They don't have the same kind of players that they used to have. They're an aging team. And so I don't think they're going to do that well this year in Qatar. And we saw this in the Euros too, right? This is an old team, especially defensively. And they're young players. They have some young guys coming through, but not enough and not of the same quality that they used to have. Okay? But that's just my opinion. And I don't think he should be the guy. I just think he should be somebody we at least interview. There could be other people we interview, right? I honestly think John Herdman should be somebody we interview, right? Has shown very well taking a team to a lot higher place than they should be, honestly. But the question is, at a higher level, can he cope? We'll have to see how Canada does in the World Cup, right? Let's see. Did you see the desk clip from training yesterday? No, I did not. I did not see that. John James says Bob Bradley only went to one World Cup. Yeah, but he was fired in the middle of the next cycle. He was fired after the Gold Cup loss to Mexico in the final. Amazing. We used to have actual pressure on our coaches, remember? All right. Bob Bradley, man, he did well in 2010, or well enough. Took us to the second round of the World Cup. Made it to a Confederations Cup final in 2009. And then a Gold Cup, I think it was a Gold Cup win in 2011, he lost the Gold Cup final. That's what I think got him fired. It was 2012 he got fired. I do not want Pep for our national team, Kevin. Pep is an ideologue, okay? He is a very complex systems guy. Pep is not a national team coach. In my opinion, I don't think his way of coaching would suit a national team very well. I think he's a guy that needs lots and lots of time with his players. And I just don't think that the international game is so different. Just because you're good at the club level doesn't mean you're going to be good at the international level. International level is a lot more about man management. It's a lot more about talent evaluation and creating atmospheres for your players to be successful. It's not about complex tactics and systems of play, right? I'm sorry if the sucking on Ricola's bothers anybody. I know it's not super professional, but my throat is literally drying up. So, Ricky Iannarelli. Ooh, good question here. If I feel as if there's an internal expectation at the USSF to have the coach be American going into 2026. If it had to be an American, who do you think would be ideal for the job? I think based on what he's done so far and based on the experiences that he's had, and the way he's comported himself, it has to be Jesse Marsch. If it has to be an American. But I still have questions about Jesse Marsch, right? The problem with Jesse Marsch is he's another ideologue. He believes the game should be played a certain way, and he isn't going to vary from that. And so my question is he going to try and take this U.S. team, if you give him the job, and turn them into a bunch of pressing merchants who don't want the ball? Okay, is it just run, press, and then go forward as quickly as possible? I also don't know if that suits a lot of players in our pool. Christian Pulisic is not a pressing merchant. You're not going to get Christian Pulisic to press like that. I don't know if it fits with Jesse Marsch's vision. And so far, I haven't seen Jesse Marsch adapt to a different kind of player pool, right? So if we have to go American, I would probably go Jesse Marsch. But I need to see from Jesse that he can change things up when he doesn't have the players to play the way he wants to. And right now, I haven't really seen that with him yet. So I would be very, very concerned about hiring another ideologue because I don't think ideologues work at the international level. Leeds looked so much better under only 4 days with Jesse. Yes, they did. The question, Kevin, is how much of that is just the new manager bump and how much of that is him changing things around. The primary difference with Jesse, and this is why Leeds is kind of a good fit for him, is he doesn't want to do man-to-man pressing, okay, which is what Bielsa was having them do. He does what's called a ball-oriented press. A lot of it is about pressing the ball. Oh, 6-1. Oh, well, this is getting dull. 83rd minute. Mueller collects the ball at the edge of the box and scores. USMNT works with half possession, half base press. Yeah, I agree, right? This is sort of how you want to play. You can have, I think what you need is an adaptable press. Okay, sometimes in certain phases of play and against certain opponents in certain areas of the field, you can do a high press. Sometimes you need to learn how to drop that press back into sort of a mid-block press where you don't go to press until they hit a certain pressing trigger. Whether that's a pass into a certain zone or a pass to a certain player or a certain thing happens, then you press then. I think flexibility is really, really important. And I just don't think this all-out press and then go forward as soon as possible works. That's just my opinion. Adam Jordan. Are you worried about Tyler Adams as the 6th for the World Cup? On the ball, he is not of high quality. Yes and no. I'm not worried because he's the best option that we have right now. We don't have a better option than Tyler Adams at the 6. And anybody who says Kellen Acosta is out of their mind, completely out of their mind. I agree with you, though. He's not great on the ball. But in fairness to him, most of what we're going to be doing at a World Cup is defending, right? We're going to be protecting back lines, holding blocks, trying to hold off better opponents. So in that sense, that's where Tyler Adams really is a good option. It's not perfect. We're not going to have a perfect option. But we've never had somebody of Tyler Adams' quality playing at the 6, right? At least his defensive quality. Michael Bradley played there for a long time, but that wasn't his natural position. He was never a natural defender. He was just, playing in a position that nobody else could, right? Ken the King arrives, says, where'd it go? Who wants a half dozen box from Dunkin' Donuts? I'll take one. Where do you live, Ken? I agree. Forward passes are overrated, Sebastian Lletget. Oh, this is such a tough question, Hunter. Such a tough question. All right, we're 85 minutes in. 7-2 on aggregate, 6-1 on the game today. Oh, it's 7 now. Good Lord. Did I miss it? Oh, my God. He just gave the ball away. It's terrible. Yeah, they've completely given up, Salzburg. It's like a walk in the park for Bayern now. They're not even trying. Oh, my God. What a joke. What a joke. Oh, boy. I don't know. I am hoping that neither Lletget, nor Roldan, nor Zardes, nor Areola will be in Qatar. Those 4 should not be there. But it's Greg Berhalter, right? We don't know what he's going to do. So it's hard for me to say they won't be there. I have a good feeling that at least some of those guys will be there, especially Zardes. He is in love with Zardes. Zardes doesn't have to do anything on the field in terms of actual production as a forward, and he will still get called up. He can be a backup striker in MLS, not even a starter in MLS, and he'll still get called up for the national team, right? Here's a very good question. Why do you think, from Isaac, why do you think he likes Aaron Long so much? So, Isaac, I think the reason he likes Aaron Long so much is because Aaron Long can defend in transition, right? He wants to play a very high line, and he believes that Aaron Long is a player who can defend very well in transition. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, and he's athletic. He's the prototypical American center back. The problem with Aaron Long is that A, we haven't really seen him be tested outside MLS, okay? And B, the other problem with Aaron Long is he can't pass the ball under pressure, right? So what are we going to get from Aaron Long at a World Cup if Berhalter wants to pass the ball around out of pressure, which he does want to do sometimes. We've seen it. He's moved away from it a little bit now when Matt Turner plays, but I think mostly it has to do with his ability to defend in transition, right? That's where I think that's why he loves Aaron Long so much. Call it whatever you want. I'm not against Aaron Long necessarily. I want to see more of him now that he's back from injury. But he's far from the lockdown defender that Greg Berhalter thinks he is. So I don't know. He's probably going to be in this roster. It's a wait and see sort of moment. What's going to happen with Aaron Long, but he'll probably be there. I'd be very surprised if he's not on the roster. Brendan Aaronson almost had another assist, by the way, just over the bar. Been a strong game from Brendan, huh? Been a very strong game from him. Apart from the assist, he's been active. He's worked hard. He's made some good passes. Oh, come on. This number 14 is not very good, huh? All right, guys, 89th minute, just heading into the 90th minute, and my throat is about ready to give up. You got to do your British accent when you talk about Brendan, LOL. Obviously a lot, Julio. So Julio says, how much do you think his stock has gone up over the course of these two legs? Obviously, it's been huge because not only has he gotten 2 assists against Bayern, he's also played well for the most part, created other opportunities for teammates, and that's really good to see. So, yeah. This is, Brendan Aaronson made the right decision going from Philly to Salzburg. He didn't have a massive jump, right? It wasn't this huge jump. And it's something I think more of our young players can learn from is it's not just about moving to Europe. Yes, I like that they're going. I like that you're, in tough environments, that you're in better places, that you're going to learn, that you're going to improve. But you also have to be smart about how you go about it, right? And, going to a mid sort of club like, say, Red Bull Salzburg was very good for Brendan Aaronson's development. And now if he goes to Leeds or AC Milan, he'll be more prepared for that jump up. If he had gone straight to Leeds or AC Milan from Philly, he definitely would not have been prepared. So look at Haaland. Same thing. Starts at Molde in Norway, goes from Molde to Red Bull Salzburg, right? From Red Bull Salzburg to Dortmund, and then from Dortmund to a bigger club. So it's like slowly climbing the rungs of a ladder and always pushing yourself, always trying to get to that next level, but not skipping levels so much that it's hard for you. Game over. All right. 7-1. Bayern wins 8-2 on aggregate, and that's a good thrashing for Salzburg. A little disappointing that the game was so one-sided, but I guess the silver lining for us is that Brendan Aaronson got an assist, another assist. So, yes, thanks, guys, for coming to hang out. My throat is about ready to give up. So I will see you guys Thursday. We have a video coming out about how I'm going to play, how I would play in this next window and what I think we should do lineup-wise and tactics-wise. And then Sunday, I have a very cool video coming out with the straight red card guys, Derek Rishi and Brett. So thanks for coming to hang, guys. This was dope. Hope you're all okay with my incessant sucking of Ricolas. I apologize if that bothered anyone, but have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, let's go. Let's go USA. Take care now.